Hi everyone, welcome to another video, doing another impromptu video as I'm like kind of going through the week of videos I want to do. And this is another one that has just been one that's very exciting for me and one I really wanted to just create. So I'm like, screw it, we'll just create it. Again, just in the room. I don't even have a shirt on right now, but here we go, why not? And this video, you'll obviously have a title of it, which is going to be Stop Acting As If. And if you are doing this, it's going to be blocking you and instead be as if. And there's some very important concepts, some very crucial concepts I want to go over in this video that will actually allow you to bring what it is you desire more into your life. Now, not just physical things, but to be more of who you want to be, to live the lifestyle you want to live, ultimately. And you hear a lot of times this idea of fake it till you make it or acting as if. And I think a lot of times when people tell you to do this, it's well-intentioned, because the idea is, you know, if you can hook into something right now, hook into a certain energy, into a certain lifestyle, and live it right now, or act as if you're living it right now, fake it technically as if, you know, it's happening right now, that it will eventually become your life. Now, there is something that's very dangerous about this, and this is why, especially if your awareness is in a certain place or you haven't had enough experience using these principles, this can actually be a huge trap that actually blocks you from living in the way you want. And so I have some notes here, so you're going to see me looking at it like usual, but here we go. So the thing is, when you start acting as if, and you attach yourself to the idea of acting or the idea of faking it, that will cause you to move in a certain way, which transmits a certain energy. You know, if you fake something, you are only ever going to get the result of whatever you're actually energetically transmitting. So what do I mean by that? So I say this a lot, but you cannot trick the universe. So you can fake something to make it appear to others that you are something. So for example, you see this so much on social media. I don't personally see it, but I sometimes see people make videos of these people or whatever else it is, of people who like rent Lamborghinis or certain homes in order to display a certain lifestyle, pretending that they have that lifestyle in order to sell you a product or whatever else it is, right? You've probably seen those ads on YouTube, right? Where the dude comes out and he's jacked and he's like, yo, this is the reason you're failing. Oh, here's my 15 Lamborghinis, you know, and here's my, you know, amazing mansion lawn. And they don't own any of the things, but they're trying to convince you that you do, that they do, so that you will buy their thing or listen to them or whatever else it is. And so a lot of times, obviously, I really do believe in karmic restitution. So for anyone who is doing that, you know, it is transmitting something, a fakeness, a disingenuous energy that will again come back, even if in the short term it seems like they're being successful from a financial standpoint. But essentially you're faking it, and you can trick people, especially people who don't have the discernment yet, haven't trained themselves to have the discernment to see through that kind of thing. Because for a lot of you, you might look at a commercial like that and go like, I can see right through this. This guy's obviously trying to play up this idea that he lives in a certain way. And some people do live in that way and are genuinely trying to help you. But when you have that discernment, you can tap into your heart, into what you truly are. You can determine between the one that's using these things as clout or something to make them appear a certain way that they're actually not, versus someone who's actually living it. And that's where this is going to take this. You see, instead of acting as if, again, that word acting implying that you are not really it. Like, I'm just playing a role, I'm just acting as though I am this thing, but I don't actually believe I am this thing. Or I'm gonna fake it meaning I'm almost in a way wearing a mask, but what I am is behind the mask, not what I'm actually transmitting out into the world. And the thing is, when you live authentically, you will start to reap the benefits or bring in the equivalent of that authenticity. But if you live inauthentically, i.e. acting as if or faking it, you will attract in the equivalent of that, right? You have to understand that the universe communicates primarily through energy. And so you can say or even display through certain tricks or whatever else it is that you live a certain way, you are a certain way, whatever it is. But if you don't genuinely believe that's who you are, if you are not connecting to the actual energy of that and transmitting it out, you are going to bring back what you're actually connecting to. So let's say, for example, you want to act as if, or fake it till you make it in a sense of money, and you want to fake that you have a certain amount of money when you don't. And there's always going to be a misalignment and incongruence when you do this. Whereas if instead you connect with the identity of abundance or the energy of abundance, wealth, wealth and prosperity, and you know that you already are that, that you can be that. You don't need any physical anything to be that right now, and you stay in that connection authentically. Well, that's when you start to manifest the physical equivalent. You can do that for money. For example, love. A lot of people like to, this is actually, I'm just thinking of this. Another one a lot of people like to do is they like to make it seem like they're in an incredible relationship, or it's something that it's not. You know, look at how lovely my life is, or look how in love I am. But then behind the scenes, things are a mess. Another thing you can do to actually be love or be someone in love is to focus on self-love. And when you connect with that feeling of self-love, you actually, truly, genuinely, authentically connect with love and see that that is what you are. And you identify as that, you will see the physical equivalent start to manifest. So what do I mean by the physical equivalent, and how does this actually work? And how can you actually start seeing results from this? So just to refer to this again, there's something called the quantum to Newtonian transition point. So what this means is there's the energetic realm essentially, and then the Newtonian physical realm. And things in the Newtonian realm, things that are solid, things like this, that we perceive with our five senses, they take longer to appear in reality in the Newtonian form, in the physical form. It takes a certain level of momentum and energy for these kinds of things. Speaking of energy, nice little flaska. For these things to actually manifest in physical reality. But there is the quantum realm where things happen fairly instantaneously, where everything is happening in the now. And so instead of using things like this to pretend you are a certain way or fake it till you make it, you can connect in this very moment to whatever the energy of what it is you want is. And if you stay in that long enough, if you act from that place, not acting as if, but being, and then taking action from that level of being, you will start to receive, based on the quantum to Newtonian transition point, the physical equivalent. So if you connect authentically with a certain energy, a certain emotion, energy and motion, you will attract the equivalent of that. So another thing to think about is the be, do, have paradigm. Most people are operating from what's called the do, have, be paradigm. This is why people are renting Lamborghinis and showing these houses and pretending to be something they don't actually feel connected to, right? Because they think if I have something, if I'm doing something, I can then have the things through that doing, and then I can be whatever it is, right? So if I do the thing called go to school, I'll have the thing called a degree, which will mean I'll be the thing called success, for example. But does that actually make you successful? Does that actually bring you fulfillment? Does that bring you what is said it will bring you? And so what you do is you reverse this, and you go instead from the be, do, have paradigm. And this plays on the idea of hooking into the present moment to whatever it is you genuinely want to be. And understand, you can hook into love, you can hook into gratitude, you can hook into abundance, you can hook into peace and tranquility, you can hook into playfulness. All of these different energies are available to you. You can look at the map of consciousness by, I believe, David Hawkins, Power versus Force. And these are all power emotions, meaning they're incredibly powerful. They can build a lot of momentum in a certain direction for you. And they're also what's called anabolic, which means life supporting. And so the idea is, if you can be this, if you connect to this, so if I want to connect to love, I can do a heart math meditation, for example, and really, really connect with the energy of love. And when you connect with an energy like this, you'll start to notice certain things come up. So for example, let's say I want a video idea. Like I want to create a video, but I want to do it from a good place. I don't want to fake anything. I want to create a video from a place of love, from a place of gratitude, from a place of actually being able to help and contribute, a place of abundance, whatever it is. So I can connect, and you can do this in many other ways. You don't have to just meditate, but let's say I want to do that, right? Let's say I'm having trouble connecting with my heart. I'm having trouble connecting to love. So I can take a moment. I like to do breathing as well. So I like to do Wim Hof practices or just deep breathing. And I can really start feeling out from my heart. If you put your hands, you can't actually see it, but if you put your hands over your heart, it actually brings your focus there and actually makes it more likely that you can tap into the emotions of love, tap into the energy of your heart. Your heart gives off an electric magnetic field. I forget, that goes way beyond the field actually your brain gives off, by the way. Your heart is incredibly powerful, not just as an organ that pumps blood through your body, but also as a spiritual tool, as a conscious tool. So you can do that, put your hand over your heart, and you can just kind of quiet your mind and start breathing into your heart, breathing into this energy. A lot of people who do guided meditations will tell you to imagine a ball of light over your heart or around your heart, to really just put your focus there and really connect with this energy that you want to connect with love, with gratitude. And you will find that when you connect with this, you, in this very moment, are that energy. You are being in this moment this energy. Love, gratitude, abundance, whatever else it is. Your mind is switching off. So understand that any identity you have, any old patterns, any old stories, they all come from the mind. They're not coming from here. They're not coming from what you truly are. They're coming from just these beliefs and a lot of times fabrications and these old stories that you just put a lot of energy into in the past, but aren't necessarily true. You only make them true based on what you believe about them. You can immediately stop believing in them. But you put your focus here and just connect. Breathe deeply, breathe into your heart. Sometimes I like to visualize the energy around my heart and kind of as I breathe, the energy expanding and contracting, kind of moving in and out like this around my heart. And then just whatever color the energy is, you can imagine that, visualize that, and then just as you breathe in, kind of see it expand or contract, and then whatever you do the opposite on the way out. So you just breathe in. And that was really just one breath, but you'll be amazed at how different you'll feel just by doing that. And you can try it out right now. But what this does is it connects you to what you truly are. It connects you to possibility, that you have the power to connect with these different levels of energy and consciousness. And when you connect with that, you connect with beingness, what you choose to be in this moment. And then you take that into the rest of your day. So you're being love now. Let's say that's what you've connected to. You're being love. And now you have all of these ideas coming from a place of love, this inspiration. Maybe it's just stillness. If it's stillness, stay in that stillness. For things to come in, you first have to have space for those things to come in. So stillness can be an incredibly powerful thing. So if you find that, wow, I'm just not getting any noise, that's an amazing place to be as well. But what you will find is that when you're in this almost what seems like emptiness and stillness and space, that things will start to fill that space. And if you're connected to the frequencies of love or gratitude or similar emotions, peace is actually very high on the consciousness scale. Technically on the Hawkins scale, it's above love, peace, the energy of peace. And if you connect with that, and you just stay in it. You stay in this energy. You don't allow yourself to get distracted. You can do the breathing. Just focus on this. And allow whatever comes up to come up. For me, sometimes I'll have memories of love coming up or projections of love, so visualizations. Sometimes it'll be stillness. And you can then have inspiration come from that place. And this is not how I planned on doing this video, by the way, but this is how it's come through. So hopefully this will be helpful to some of you. But if you can do that, connect with that, And then from that place, go out and do things. So be, do. So again, you're doing things from this level of beingness, not fake. It's not disingenuous. It's not like, here's the Lamborghini, that makes me something. Here's the degree, that makes me something. It's, I'm already everything. I am already a divine, co-created, infinite being, and I can connect to different pieces of that, or the whole thing, different energies. I can play around with this. I'm going to connect to that first, to what I am. Do things from that place. And this is where the quantum to Newtonian transition point happens. You stay in this beingness, you do things from the beingness, then you'll have the things that naturally come out of that process. And that is the quantum to Newtonian transition point. This typically takes, it's said, about 6 to 8 weeks, and this is a very substantiated thing. You can look at the works of people like Tom Campbell to get an idea of this. Now, I want to close this video up because I know that took a little bit of time, but I want to have that. Actually, I didn't plan on having that practice in there for you, but that's something you can do. Just take a moment, connect to your heart, put your hands on your heart, breathe into it, allow yourself to stay in that energy and watch what happens. And if you can do that, go into most situations with an intention and doing that. Take the time every day to connect to that. Amazing things can happen. So what I have on here next, after that long-winded thing, we'll go through this pretty quickly, is remember the universe communicates energetically. So when you're in that energy, that is how you communicate with the universe. That's how you're going to receive signals from the universe, inspiration, ideas. You will do it on whatever frequency you're on. Think of each emotion as a different frequency. There are ones that are similar, but think of it, here's love, here's fear. When you're on fear, the transmissions you'll get in, the equivalent energy that will come back can only be on this same frequency. But if you're on love, if you're up here, authentically on love, same deal. You know, you're not going to have all these fear thoughts when you're here, and you can only focus on one thing at a time. So that's why that's so powerful. So quantum to Newtonian transition point, remember that the universe communicates energetically. And so if you're faking or acting, you know, it knows. And it's not going to make you do one or the other. It will just give you the equivalent of what you're giving in. What you're transmitting, you will receive. So you will attract the equivalent of that. So don't fake it, be it. That is genuine. And when you are being genuine, what you already are, which is actually very simple to connect with when you just learn that you can and learn how, like just doing that, it's very easy. That is genuine, and then you will manifest things from a genuine place, if that makes sense. And here's the thing I'm going to leave you off with, because I think this is very important. When you are faking it, or you're acting as if, and remember, your words are very powerful, so you can say, you know, well, I know that, you know, I'm just using those as tools to connect with the energy, and some people might be able to do that. But when you, in the back of your head, know that you're doing something called faking it, when you're doing something like acting as if, you know, not being it, but doing those things, it's always in some way, or in many ways, is going to encourage being disingenuous. It's going to make you think you're being inauthentic, and that's the energy you're actually going to be transmitting. And so usually when we think we have to fake it, it's because we are not fulfilled or think we are not enough in how we are or in what we are, right? You think you need to fake it because I need to fake like I have all this money because the me without money isn't enough. But the reality is you're more than enough. You know, you are a divine, infinite, co-creative being. There is nothing more that you actually need. You know, it's just if you do desire certain things, you want to play with form or all these different things, that's open to you. But because you don't have a certain amount of money, or you don't have a Lamborghini, or you don't have a whatever in your life, in a physical sense, doesn't mean you're not enough. But that's a lot of times why people do the fake it till you make it, because they're not satisfied with what they have. You're then transmitting that to the universe, and I'm sure you've heard this before, you have to be grateful for what you have before you will receive more. You're not ready to receive if you can't be grateful for what you already have. So I'm just going to throw that in there as well. You will always receive the equivalent back. So if you transmit dissatisfaction, you will receive back more reasons to be dissatisfied, right? So don't fake it. Don't act as if. Be it. How do you be it? Connect with the energy that you think whatever it is that's coming in will give you. So you want more money? Oh, that's simple. You want to connect most likely with the energy of abundance. Or maybe it's love because you think money equals love, whatever else it is. So connect with that energy first. And you'll also notice your priorities and the things you actually want will change. But connect with that and then act from that place. Not acting as if, actually act from beingness, from that energy, from that connection to that energy, to what you truly are. And then again, through the idea of the quantum to Newtonian transition point, you will receive the equivalent if you stay in that long enough. If you're being genuine long enough, good things will really happen. And that's it, guys, for this one. Okay, so that was I hope that came out pretty clear. I hope that has given you a lot to work with and will help you. I know that's very long. Like when I get into these pockets or into the flow of these kind of things, it sometimes goes long. I don't really need to justify it, but just to give you an idea, of course, this is not something I've edited. This is all just going to be one take. But let me know if you like these videos. Let me know what you think about this idea, your thoughts down below. But just remember, again, fake it till you make it, acting as if the idea isn't, have bad intentions. But it can cause stumbling blocks if you're not careful, right? You're not aiming to act as if or fake something. Remember, the universe communicates energetically, so be it, and then take actions from beingness, and magical things will happen. And really, they're just normal things, but they appear magical, especially as they're happening for the first time in your life. And it's kind of fun to see them as magical as well. It just kind of makes life more creative, makes it more fun. And I'm always for making life as fun and playful as possible. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that. As always, I love you, and I will see you in the next one.